Hello everyone, welcome to the virtual workspace. In today's video, we are exploring Citrix localhost cache. So, what cover in this video? At first, we understand what is localhost cache. Then we will understand how that database create and how it work. Also, we will understand what need to consider in site database outage. And at the end of this video, we will down the database in our lab, and we will see what exactly happened in database outage. So let's start with our first question: what is localhost cache? It's also known as LHC. Localhost cache is a feature in Citrix virtual app and desktop that allow uh, connection broken operation in Citrix site even during a database outage. So each delivery controller one database will create. So in our site configuration video, we while configuring the site, we created a three database. One is logging database, um, site database, and configuration database. So that database is needed in Citrix. So whatever the information we configure, suppose we create a delivery group, machine catalog, and we assign machine to the user, that information stored in the database. And if the database connectivity broken between delivery controller and database server, in that scenario Citrix will not that get information, and Citrix Studio will not launch, and we will not able to access any application. So to avoid that outage, Citrix introduced this feature, localhost cache. So if database is down, in that scenario, delivery controller use the local host cache database information to broker the session. So now we will just understand how that database will create. So during normal operation, what actually so now we'll just understand how the localhost cache database create. So suppose when we access the Citrix developer site, and log in, after that developer server send the request to the delivery controller, the Citrix broker service, and that Citrix broker service accept that communication and communicate with the site database to get the assign application detail for that users. And then broker service send that information to the storeboard server, and storeboard server create the web page, and we will get the application list, and then we can access that. This is happen in normal scenario. How the site database, how the local cache database create. Um, s- for that there is one service, config synchronization service. Citrix config synchronization service is play important role. Suppose if you create a machine catalog or delivery group, so that is configuration changes. So if we create a new delivery group machine catalog, so if you create that, if you add a new delivery group, that information sent to the site database, and it in this site database. At that time, this config synchronization service continuously check with the broker service if there is any configuration changes. If you create a new delivery group, and that information, if it is not stored in the localhost cache database, it will copy that new configuration from the site database, and the config synchronization service copy that changes, whatever the changes is inside, and that configuration will forward to the high availability service, and high availability service store that information in localhost cache on the delivery controller, and that localhost cache create on each delivery controller. So this is in this way, the localhost cache database will create, and the config service continue to synchronize with the site database, and if there is any new changes, that will be stored on the localhost cache. So now we understand how the localhost cache database create. So now let's see how it works. So during database outage, all the delivery controller in Citrix site will elect one primary delivery controller to handle all VDA registration and session broking, while other delivery controller will reject such connection. So if that site database and the delivery controller connection broke due to some reason, after 90 seconds they will elect one primary delivery controller in Citrix site, and after that the Citrix broker service stop communicating with the site database, and Citrix broker and then the Citrix broker service is instruct the high availability service to take over, and then process and then start processing and start taking new connection requests from the storefront server. So after that the high availability service accept the new connection booking request, and it will use the localhost cache database, and user will able to launch the application. So now we understand what is localhost cache, how the database created, and how it works. So now let's understand what need to consider during site database outage. So we will down the site database, and we'll just see what exactly happened in Citrix. So let me go to the database server. So now Citrix Studio is launched, and now I'm going to stop the database, and if database is down, we will try to launch the studio. Let me close it. Citrix Studio and director will not work if we down that, because director and studio directly communicate with the site database. Director communicate with the logging database and get the all current Citrix session detail, and if database is down, that will not work. So we set down the database and try to launch the director. It is not working. Here it's showing the error. The system is currently unavailable, and the studio also it's launched, but here it's showing not able to connect the database, not able to connect to the controller. So as due to the database is down, due to that it is not able to communicate. So now we will just try to launch the session. Let me log into the start mode. Now in this scenario, our site is down. UN director, we are not able to log in, but Citrix session will work, so there will no impact on user. Let me try to launch with user. We are able to log in because our store bus server is up and running, and store bus server, that server is responsible for authentication. So you are getting this application here, means local, the application icons are here, means localhost cache is working. Let me try to launch the application or desktop. So it's launched. So what to consider in database outage? If you configure the pool desktop, that pool machine catalog will not work, because in that information will that not stored in localhost cache. so that will be down. And if you configure the posting, the VMware connection you have configured, and that the power on off function will not work through the studio, so you need to manually on the machine, and it will register after that, and user able to launch that desktop. But if it is powered off, it will not on automatically in page in data site database outage. Also, if you go to the here, maybe it will so in database outage scenario, if you open the event manager, you will get all detail, as I explained earlier, how the communication start in the Citrix component. As I explained in this image, as explained here in this image, how the broker service decided to stop communicating with the site database, and the high availability service take over and started accepting connection. So that everything, if you go to the event viewer, all it's you will get that event, everything step by step, the event will created. So let's see this. And this information actually is very helpful if you are troubleshooting, if you are troubleshooting any issue. So let's explore the log on delivery controller. I open the event manager, and the first log is here to I stop the services. So SQL server, if you go into the detail, SQL server terminating the response to stop request service controller. So we have stopped the SQL services. So SQL services in event it's stopping the services, and after that, if you check here, the second log is created for Citrix broker services. The connection between Citrix broker service and the database has been lost. So here, as I explained in the let me open that. So here, as I explained in here, so that this stage is you can see into the log, the connection between the broker service and database is broker, that explained here in the log, and it will wait for 90 seconds, and after that there if still communication is down, then the localhost cache database use. So the second, if you see the connection database, the machine facing service, all services normally communicate with the database. So the log generated here, the connection database is lost. Storefront service active, this is identity service, lost connection with the database. So this all log created here, and this is one important log. The Citrix broker service has detected an issue communicating with the database. The presentation function to preserve functionality, this responsibility for booking request will be handed over to the Citrix high availability service using the local cache site database. So as explained here in the diagram, after 90 seconds, the broker service handed over that function to the high availability service. So that, and after that other services also showing here that connection lost, and here, and if you see here, the Citrix broker service stop XML HTTP services. So in the log, everything is mentioned here, and after that, if you click here, the Citrix high availability service started. Service has been become active and will broker user request from session until the issue discovered with the normal broken activity resolved. So here and now high availability service it is accepting the sessions, and we try to launch the application, and that connection and that particular request handled by this Citrix high availability service. Here you can see in the log, Citrix broker service successfully started XAML. So the high availability service actually accepting the session now. So everything there in the log. So, and this the log actually it's help us to troubleshoot the issue in outage scenario. So this all about the localhost cache. Please like this video and subscribe my channel. If you want complete understanding of Citrix virtual app and desktop, please watch my playlist, Mastering Citrix virtual app and desktop. I'll share the playlist link in description. So thanks for watching.